Good evening, Speed Gaming 5. We are here to watch the Casual Boots Tournament playoff round between JamesFnX and Hexodis. I believe James is up 1-0 in this group of three as our runners get off to the start of this race. I am joined by Shinmaru. How's it going?
Going just fine. Ready for a fun race tonight.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay, we get a cane of Samaria out of Link's house. We got a bit of a surprise start here. We're hopefully everyone's streaming on in so far. Hello. We have our first bonk of the day on Hexodis' side. Those tricky dash lines that we all have to learn as we get better at the game, you know? If you're slightly off, then oh no, you bonk.
No information about prize packs, unfortunately.
No. 20 rupees from the chest there. So this mode, for people who don't know what this is A Link to the Past Randomizer's Casual Boots mode, where we do the tutorial sequence otherwise known as Escape, except this time we get to start the game immediately with the sword and the boots, although the sword is officially awarded at Uncle.
Yeah, game actually playable from the very start.
Yes, imagine doing standard no boots. Couldn't be what another whole tournament did earlier this year.
Or boots with no sword. Ugh.
Yeah. But... So for the next 5 minutes and change, as our runners make their way through the escape sequence, we just kind of hang out here as we see we get a nice ether medallion from the blue guard chest. I always like to pontificate about like how I really enjoy the escape sequence as a bit of good game design because it shows you, not tells you everything. You know, it's a very emergent experience as you're learning the game.
You see a couple different ways to deal with Fallen Chain Guard. Hex is going right in. The sword slashes, James leading off the pot, finishing off with sword slashes.
So, as our runners now have the princess in tow, it's time to get away. Seeing a couple of different ways to get past the green guards. Usually most people will do what James has done, but a few other runners do other strats.
Dashing on all those straightaways just feels nicer.
Yeah. Just feels zoom, zoom, zoom. That's why I like this mode. Also, it's on the shorter side. As someone with an attention span, or at least my entertainment value out of this game kind of caps out at about 90 minutes or so. Kind of the perfect mode for that kind of like idea. Respect other modes though, you know, even if they're a bit longer, but nice when you're shorter on time, you can bang out a seed in like an hour and 20 or so if it's on the nicer side to you, or even faster than that.
So can't wait for this 1 hour 50-minute seed now that you tempted fate.
Oh yeah, always feels great. As I had one of these last week on the ladder that we have for the ALTTPR community. As we
nice
get,
boots, by the way.
which would have been boots. It always feels pretty terrible when you win a casual boost race with a 1 hour and 52-minute time. You're like, oh no, what have I done? I feel disgusting. Having some key rat blues here. Sometimes you just don't get that rat RNG to go your way, and it feels like it took you 7 years to kill all the rats for the small key you need.
Yeah.
We get ourselves a Quake medallion, and then the rat RNG also gets you when they just get in the way of your dash.
Yep. That's why I've taken to just walking down that kind of middle in between those two pots right there and dashing. The rats don't
Yeah.
usually find their way down there.
It's that first attic room in Escape, 2 rooms before Sank. That's the one that always I mess up with the stupid rat. Ooh, fire rod. All right.
Crystal's Eastern Hera, Pendant Desert.
Bad pendant desert to boot. All right, a Master Sword. We're getting all the good toys right off the start.
Yep. And I will say also something to watch out for is whether Swamp is a crystal or pendant. I know Hexodis is very much a hoverer. I don't believe James is. Just to bring that up.
I think James does the bounce, but I haven't watched them recently, so I'm not sure what their tech is. Oh, we don't get a bush crab after all. What was on the pyramid ledge? I kind of didn't see the icon.
It looked red from the bottom. I'm not sure if there's anything good left that we have left that's like red at the bottom, so it must have been just a 20.
Could have been the boomerang, but probably just the red rupees.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! A suspicious shovel right off the hop in a seed. Love to see it.
Hey, better to get at the beginning.
Yeah, you just say goodbye to your save and quit after the race game.
Yeah. Oh, James, going for a nice cactile.
Yeah, we got bombs. We can make a few holes.
Yeah.
Although if there's plenty of cash in Kakariko, he will be nowhere near the amount to be able to route in the Zora scam fish, but we would need a 300 pack to even get us close to that kind of money we need.
Ooh.
So we are rewarded with a bow as Hexodis gets a glove out of Blind's basement here. And just some more money out of the back of Blind, and our sunken prize is some more bombs.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna ignore, and we're gonna go to Agina on JamesFnX's side. Yeah, this is a bit of the anti-meta play, just to make sure that Agina doesn't get you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a fan of doing this early.
3 hundo on the ledge. We'd love to get that, but we can't. Although we're getting quite a bit of cash out of the back of the well here. Oh, there's our 3 hundo pack.
Sir, that is not a good business plan.
Not a good business plan, but that I guess I just called my shot about hoping for a 3 hundo pack as Hexodis chicken clips. Okay, dude. It's a very good way to lock your game and have to do a reset. But it's a fun meme.
Yeah, that happened to me once, and I haven't done a chicken clip since.
One time I tried to do as we dig up a lamp.
That's a pretty.
Of course, it's a suspicious shovel. The last time I ever really chicken clipped was because I went into the chicken hut with 1 heart, and then I threw the chicken, but then I threw myself into the explosion and killed myself. And that's definite, and that was clipped by JamesFnX on my channel. So, you know, very smart gameplay on my part. So, oh yeah, as Arya Stark in chat is pointing out, we could, if we really wanted to, rush Aga.
Yep. Hope for that pearl on pyramid.
Oh, that would be a classic, you know? So Hexodis is in a position where they are just shy of the rupees they need to pay the scam fish, and they can easily get that since they have the glove from the cave with the 20 rupees in it. Turns out our bush crab just has hearts.
Yeah, continuing down to the shovel, I've been told that if you have glove and boots and you're intending on doing South Shore, it is faster to just run down from the shovel spot and continue on rather than saving and quitting.
Yeah, because you can skip a couple of screens.
Yep.
And yeah, we can also beat Eastern first. I would suspect our runners would defeat Eastern Palace before they would think about going to Aga.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have all the money we need.
Just going through Mini Moldorm Cave. Not seen this yet from James's side, so let's see what's in here.
Ooh, the book, too. Very funny. Ooh, but the hook shot. Now that is nice. So now we have...
That's an item worth following, not this book nonsense.
Yeah, we love the book. So we probably... Oh, okay, we're not...
I don't know who this we... Oh, boy.
We're not gonna go check out Ice Rod Cave and then go... Oh, okay. I think we are gonna investigate Desert on Hexodis' side. Huh. James going for Eastern Palace at this time. Meanwhile, Hexodis is going to chase the book and see if there's going to be something fun in here. Hexodis is down a game in this best of 3, so if they lose this match, they are out. So maybe they feel the need, being down a game, to pull out a play that they do not expect their opponent to do. So 2 dungeons we're going to check out and see if we find some goodies here. Both pull dungeon items at the same time.
Okay, well, you get something for your trip here, yeah.
That's not nothing. Having an early tempered sword will make, you know, slice and dice a lot of the monsters, especially in the early half of the game.
And depending on the pennant layout in Dark World, it might never be feasible for James to ever go to this area.
Yeah. And you can really turn a lot of these enemies into chunky salsa when you have the tempered sword. So we got 1 item. Are we going to get the second item here, or is it going to be on the boss? Oh, we get the second item here. So see you later.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we want to fight the boss quite yet. We can probably be able to mirror, and if we need to pull pad for some reason.
Yep, and Hexus doesn't even need to bother with the 300 on the ledge. He's got plenty of money.
So it looks like James is going to risk the 50-50 on the big key chest.
Yeah. I am a big coward. I usually don't do this if I don't have Darkhold access, but
I'm trying to get my big boy pants about it, but it's hard. Because statistically, it is the correct play. You'll save more time than you lose in most seeds, but it still feels giga bad when you have to double dip Eastern when your opponent did not.
Yeah, you always remember the times it failed rather than the times it was a success.
That's human psychology for you right there. We're more victims of trauma and bad negative reinforcement than remembering all the times that, you know, it worked like intended. So James is gonna go shooty on the Armos Knights.
Yeah, and Hex is giving us a preview of what James is going to get after it, and the 50-50 paid off.
See?
Save some time. Didn't get progression, but save some time.
You save a good, like, 50 seconds by not doing the full loop in Eastern. So to answer chat, this is casual boots, so the world state is going to be standard, meaning we did the escape sequence, and then we are given a sword and boots to start the seed.
And yeah, if I'm on runners, I probably still do mountain.
Yeah, mountains.
Even though, because we don't have pearl yet.
Yeah, it's too attractive of a play.
Yeah, even though we have the kind of like, aside from that, we have the Aga starter set. Glove, hookshot.
Yeah, we probably will get what we need on the mountain.
Although James doesn't have that hookshot yet either.
Yeah, but we'll see if they opt to go to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah. Very surprised that they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, for Hexodis not doing that. Yeah, because you can set up that water dash, and then either you can choose. Since we don't have the pearl, you would have to choose either between the camper or going to the Zora area. You can still get to Zora that way. Because technically the Zora is in logic because we have a glove.
Yes.
So as long as James doesn't die, because almost anything will kill him now, we will probably see that water dash.
Just gotta be careful while you're waiting for that bomb to go off.
Or getting too close. And we're going to see Hexodis do the loop. And, and they're going to save and quit. They're not going to go break logic to the Zora area. Interesting. I usually like to do that play, water dashing to Zora, because, you know, maybe you get mitts out of logic or something very nice. But James is electing to stay in logic, and they will be the first one up to the mountain. Or they're gonna examine, Oh no, this is where the, I always mix up the locations of, the ascent to Death Mountain versus the Bonk Rocks.
Okay, so we can't make it to Hera as of yet. Don't have the mirror or the hammer, but the rest of the mountain very much available. Let's see. We'll get our old man check. We got inside Spec Rock, and then Spiral Cave and Paradox. Plenty of potential goodies available, but
Pocket change from the old man, though. Let's see if James goes to the west side of Death Mountain first to assume that check. Nope, we're going straight to East Death Mountain. I mean, I suppose you can save and quit and then just climb West Death Mountain.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself to remember that, so I just tend to do the West Death Mountain first. Especially, if you get a prize over here that pushes you elsewhere, then you could have a seed where you may not know what's on Spectacle Rock, and it may be something you need. But we get our Moon Pearl here, so
Oh yeah.
now it's starting to get interesting about this being an AGA 1 required seed. Because we're almost out of things to do. And if we get garbage from the rest of this mountain check, I mean... Of course we get our first bottle, so maybe there's just a hammer on Sick Kid or something.
Oh boy, that's
Just like the ultimate bait. Like, yeah, man, AGA 1 definitely not required. What are you doing? Just go where the items are, forehead. A lovely bomb jump from JamesFnX. Oh, Hexodis trying to do the swag. Okie dokie. I don't even think we got a look at the floating island.
he might have done it while we were distracted by that funny hover. There you go. Yeah, our tracker's saying 10 arrows on the floating island.
Yeah, we're joined by Pixcalibur on tracking. They're doing this for the second time today as we get magic powder. We're gonna get a look at West Death Mountain from Hexodis to see if there was something important here.
Oh, well,
I mean,
that's not important.
I beg to differ. We love shields. No, I'm kidding. Just 20 rupees inside.
Alright, so James not going to be punished for the time save. Going straight for Aga.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left for him to check at this point. I think it's pretty safe to say we're pretty much funneled into the Dark World this way.
Yeah.
Unless the hammer is at Zora or something like that,
Yeah.
Or a Mitz.
Yep.
There's only a couple of curse checks left. A nice tactical powdering there in the first room against the ball and chain guards. Now we have the fire rod, and we can purge a lot of the more annoying enemies, especially when you're on only Master Sword and can't kill things quickly.
It'll be interesting to see what James does. He's got a few directions you can go in. Take that boat. Could take that boat to Pod. Could check Catfish or check Catfish. Go over to West Dark World with Hookshot.
Yeah, this is kind of the interesting thing because, you can't necessarily clear Pod, but it may be worth double dipping it.
Mm-hmm.
Always feels like there's a prize waiting for you in Pod, especially when it's a pendant and you've done AGA 1. James going for the Freezy strat.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Low health.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very low health right now.
You just don't
Dying
want them
and
to...
climbing. Yeah, yep. Dying and climbing this place again feels very bad.
Yeah, it makes you feel like a giant noob if you die here. But hey, even the top runners have done this. I mean,
Yep.
Infamously Hitsuyan died in league semifinals there.
Yep. No matter how good you are, I mean, it's very easy to die in this place. On very low health.
Yeah, I mean, you can get 1.0'd by a guard into a pit, and then suddenly you're down like 2 hearts right away. You're like, what? And if you only had 2 hearts, you're like, oh, I guess I'm dead. When you're in a position of relative safety, but... All right, we got
And
James
Hex, yeah,
on the fight, and
yep,
Hex
and
starting the
Exodus,
climb.
yeah, we have a relatively more comfortable time in here with the Tempered Sword.
Already at 2 hearts though, so has to be a little bit careful, like not getting poked by that chasing blue guard. Adds up. Yep, see, now down to 1 heart. They're gonna pick up the safety heart there just to get back to 2.
Take a 1 down for James.
Alright, let's see what's on the pyramid waiting for us. Oh, let's get a map check first.
Oh, there, Pendant Swamp, although we do have a nice hook shot, so don't have to worry about any hovering shenanigans at least.
Just a piece of heart on the pyramid, and we're gonna skip that on James' side. I mean, it's fine. I know, I guess I'm a bit of a coward and pick up pieces of heart when I only have a few hearts until I start getting more fueled up later on. But we're instantly going to rush Catfish on JamesFnX's side, which makes sense because you can save and quit and immediately be back on the pyramid in this situation, I believe.
Yep. Well, you have to run back up. No mirror, so they have to run back up to the spot. But yeah, I don't mind the Catfish rush. Just hedging against this little jerk having a hammer or something like that.
100 smackaroonies, though, on Catfish.
Yeah. And walking out, so yeah, I think James is going to go the West Dark World route. Especially with two clearable crystal dungeons on the other side of the map. Very understandable decision.
Bit more of an ask to pretty much lock yourself into a double dip of pod. If I didn't have a glove, I would be more inclined to do pod early, because in that sort of situation, pod tends to have a glove. But not when we have 2 crystal dungeons we can do now. Our bumper ledge check has nothing but 20 rupees on it.
Yep.
And off we go straight to Moth. All middle, that can get grabbed by the hand back to the start, just in case if it has a key or if it has an item, so then I know if there's one item in the back, I could be even clear of the dungeon.
James going straight for. Not even bothering with the vanilla big key chest.
And Hexodis is going to skip his $100 that we don't really need because we're so rich right now. By skipping Catfish, and they are heading straight to the Village of Outcasts and Skullwoods area themselves. Well, we get 1 item out of the back, and we're going to quickly Death Warp. And there's Hexodis' map check. Ooh, we're learning an important lesson of don't go for safeties. You're just going to take the damage that you would have recovered anyway. There was a hand coming for James. There, he got shocked by the blue beetle. James trying to save that mana for the fight because they only have the Master Sword, whereas Hexodis will have Tempered in a little easier time. Both of our runners do have a blue Mountain Dew, so if they need to refill their mana bar or take an emergency health refill, they can. James made all of their fire rod shots count.
Good. Using the sword beams to lure the moth away. Those top spikes.
Oh
Very
boy.
annoying. Ooh,
Pulls it out.
Pulls it out. Saving that bottle of blood. Oh, that would have been nice before now.
I think the only more funny clutch boss item is the times where I've gotten silver arrows off of Vitreous. It's like, haha! I got the item that you would defeat me easier with.
Or the classic half magic from Moth.
Yep. So both items in the back. Probably means we get a key, I believe, in the middle, but no, just the compass.
Yeah, James. Yeah, James. His routing choices are saving him some little chunks of time here and there. Let's see, you got the skip Eastern Big Key Chest, skipping Spec Rock, skipping the whole the front of Skull Woods.
Gonna give him some perks. You know, these are in a mode where even 5 minutes of free time. Ooh, as we get flippers from the C-shaped house, you know, you can't donate time to your opponents, and if you can save time instead, you know, you can put that into your bank, saying, "Well, I can do this extra check because it would have cost me 35 seconds for free to my opponent, but I've banked some skips." Or you just go for broke.
Yeah. Yeah. The kind of nice thing is that he's been able to be thorough, but just like not really skip a lot of checks, but still skip like whole chunks of dungeons like he didn't have to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like having his cake and eating it too.
Exactly. So we saw Hexodis basically full clear Skullwoods instead. I believe there's a certain runner in this community who shall remain nameless where they just say, it all just works out.
No idea Pichu you could be talking about.
Yeah, I don't know either. So far, not really a lot in the front of Thieves, but we're getting our big key in the vanilla location. I believe we got 2 items in the front.
And we have that small key, so Hammer could be in the attic or online as well as potentially Maiden Cell.
Hopefully, we don't. Hopefully, the small key is only locking a dungeon item, but James is trying to set up that torch turn there, but bonked twice instead. Oh, even 1 item in the front from our fabulous tracker who is actually paying more attention than I am.
It's okay, nothing's ever been in these big chests.
Nope. Definitely have never had horrifying progression there.
Actually, not with Hammer on blind himself.
Let's see what we get here in the attic. There we go. We got ourselves our first shield. Always tends to trigger me putting one of my griefing emotes. For all the shield haters out there, it's special for you. I'm actually pretty ambivalent to shields, to be honest with you.
I'm indifferent, except for Mirror Shield. I think is ugly. Okay, and that's
Ooh,
a
we got the. Ooh. All right. Well,
yeah. It doesn't unlock anything in and of itself right now, though. Obviously, you like to have it.
Yeah, we still admits yet. So we have a 50-50 here on the boss. Will we get a prize, or will we get the sadness and horror and scariness of there's an item in the big chest? I mean, either way, it's just a last location. If there's an item there, there's just no real world of coming back in here for one item when it takes like 3 minutes. A very nice quick kill.
Yeah, very nice final phase from James, and oh boy.
Oh. Oh no!
Well, yeah, it's just 5 rupees there. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That check doesn't exist. We're okay.
That's where Catfish is keeping his spare change.
That's right. His reserve money supply after the hundo that we took from him. Alright, we're going to continue our sickening clockwise loop of the Dark World with Dig Game, and then over to Stumpy, and then Hype Cave. Just feels like the world's longest clearing sequence when you're doing a big lap around the Dark World. And will we be forced to go into pod if we don't get anything soon? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. It's nice thing about getting flippers is that it does make, if you want to go into pod after this, it makes doing it pretty simple. Just kind of follow your path.
Yeah, and then you don't have to save and quit and go through the portal.
Yep.
James doing some swag tech with those bounces. Alrighty, let's see what we get here, or are we gonna be forced pretty much into pod?
Yeah, all we really have left is pod and Zora.
Yep, pod, money. More money and a piece of heart. Even more money and another change of clothes. I think
the answer is probably the bridge too, actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have our camper. But... Yup.
Oh yeah, sick kid. Yeah, sick kid.
Well, oh, they're gonna activate their flute this way too.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Also, did they dig a hole yet, or no?
Yes. The lamp was under the shop.
Oh, okay. Because I was also thinking maybe they're going this way so that they can dig the hole too.
They're probably checking a sick kid, and then moving up for the lamp.
Yeah.
For the,
I suspect the Sank start would have been a bit faster, but
I guess not checking sick kid yet.
Yeah, drawing a bead on activating that flute.
I mean, our chat saying totally leaving Hammer on sick kid. I mean, even if Hammer's on sick kid, you probably don't feel that bad, right? Like, there's no way, unless your opponent is like a total clown, they're not going to sick kid to get the hammer.
Especially when we didn't have the flute yet. I mean, it would have been a check all on its own, and it had 10 arrows anyway, so that would have been quite a bit of time loss for really nothing at all for one isolated check. Like, a good way to lose by, you know, like, a lot of casual boots losses, it's not, sometimes it's just one fateful decision that will cost you the race, as some people complain about, you know, the variance of certain modes. But other ways to lose in casual boots is the death by 1,000 cuts, in terms of like chasing one-offs that cost you 30 seconds here, 25 seconds there. And suddenly you end up losing the game by 5 to 6 minutes. Especially in this shorter mode where any time given to your opponent for free is even worse. Some bombs hanging out on the Zora ledge, so no thanks. And it's time to pay the toll. And the toll is a troll toll, just a piece of heart.
Alright, so we're just back down again to a couple choices, I think. Yeah, don't hate this one, James. Well, it looks like probably, yeah, nope, going to pod.
Yep, we're gonna...
No thank you to Man of the Ridge.
The camper sleeps for a bit longer. And we're off to pod.
I do get the decision, like your opponent could maybe have fake flippered to Man in the Bridge. You're kind of hoping it's like it's actually nothing, and trying to squeeze as much potential value out of your Aga play as possible.
Yeah. Neither of our runners did Ice Rod Cave, huh?
I think.
So I know one of them pointedly skipped it. Oh no, James did it. That's right.
And he's
James
saving
did
it
it
out of it.
That's right. Yeah. Neither of our runners did the usual kind of casual boots meta play out of Ice Rod Cave, is what I think I remember more.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Here comes Hexodis, gonna patch this check up just in case this was the answer. But JamesFnX going into pod. The odds of a lovely French vanilla hammer meme are going way up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, although I would not be shocked to find mitts in here either.
Yeah, those are the two critical pieces we need to kind of move on with this game.
Like if I were James, I would not be wanting to see Mirror in here. That would feel very annoying.
Yeah. We are going to investigate the camper on Hexodis' side. So we've got two non-small keys in the front so far with that heart container and big key.
Yep.
And given the lack of hammer or mirror so far, we are going to have to death warp to the front.
Yep. And we saw James release his fairy earlier, so already ahead of 9/10 of rando players.
Yup, Giga feels bad. I'm like, oh, I'm a death warp now. And then there's a fairy in a bottle you have, and they're going, no, you aren't.
Yep.
Feels
it's
so
always
bad.
It's always the one you literally just got like a minute before.
Yeah, especially when you have like red mail too, and it like takes forever to like die to the Gibdos or something.
Yes, bless these spike traps doing the same amount of damage all the time, no matter what your mail is. The true heroes.
Alright, with two small keys collected, it's time to go to the back. Because if the math is right, I believe the big key chest is right there is gonna only have another small key. These are the little calculations you have to learn as you get better at the game with time. Still nothing in pod, and we're running out of checks. There we go. Mitts in the rupee basement.
Yep.
That's what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. I think if you're James, that's kind of what you want to see in here. Not hammer, not like so anything that kind of necessitates you going around the world again. Something gives you a little more, a little better choice about where to go.
So, with those mitts, we can go to Mire, we can go to Dark Death Mountain. Hammerless Ice is cursed, but pot potential. And I believe that means there's going to be one item hanging out on the boss.
Yeah. I think this is I think this situation doing what James is probably doing. It's Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, we want to get 7 items because we still need a lot of stuff. You know, we need... Also, we'd be able to get our information for what medallion we need in Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know, we need an ice rod. Need a mirror. James checking this checkout, so sorry.
Yeah, just cleaning up this checks real quick.
Goodbye, Fire Shield. It was nice to know ya. Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, yeah, you could rush Mire and beat it because you have what you need to beat it, but always nice to have a little information, and if we get some more toys, it can clue you in before you go to the Mire area.
Answer a question, chat. Well, to beat the game, we don't necessarily need mirror. Something might be locked behind mirror, but as Swamp Palace is a pendant, we technically do not need it.
Look at that swag on Hexodius' side there. Hexodis, rather. I keep saying Hexodius. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, one of the toughest hovers in the game. Oh, whoa, there we go.
Look at that. It was Ice Rod and... Oh, and the hammer, yeah.
I think, is that just go mode? Yeah, depending on what this medallion is, that might just be...
Yeah, our 2 medallions that we need. We have Quake. Yeah. We can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a mirror to mirror, so you'd have to save and quit and climb again, but...
Yeah, checking in here for a sword. I would expect for silver.
Never hurts. Ooh, and a cape is always nice to have for a Master Sword fight.
Yeah, we just think, let's see, yeah, we can get here, we can beat Pod now. We can beat Ice. Yeah, we beat TR. That's just go mode for James.
Alright, so at around the 4750 mark or so, James hit go mode. Okie dokes. With potential go mode, we don't know Mire yet. We have to investigate Mire.
And Mire is just it's just the pendant, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. It's layout's a little blurry. It was hard to make that out.
Yeah, I was a little confused at first too. I think it's green pendant.
Yes, that's what that is, because there's a dot next to the pendant logo to indicate that it's green. That's for our visually impaired viewers.
Yep. Not like us, apparently.
A different visual impairment involving color blindness, but, you know, that's just blindness in general. So, yeah, we can beat the game. Just hurry up. James is going to be in quite a bit of a lead here, but we'll see what time Hexodis can whittle away, because they have a tempered sword and James doesn't.
Yes. And James almost certainly not getting that sword at this point.
No, there is no universe where James is going into desert now.
Yep.
Unless they make a terrible judgment call when they don't realize they're in go, and I think James is a good enough player to realize that he's in go.
Oh yeah, he knows he's in go. He is intending to go mode. Hitting that switch, I think he intends to go mode this dungeon. Probably maybe checking easy stuff along the way.
Yeah, because we are Master Sword Silverless right now. That's not a picnic. Oops, as we beans our icebreaker here. You either can do the pause buffer strat, or you can do the sword strat, but you're not doing the sword strat right. The way I learned this, I just did it with the pause buffer. I found it easier to do, even though it technically is a bit slower on even on first try versus first try.
Yeah, I do it the way James does it. I pause buffer the first part, and then unbuffer the second part. But I mess it up sometimes. It's definitely easier to get it consistently.
Yeah,
with pause buffers.
That's like what I always try to impart to people as they learn the game too. Just like find a way to do something, even if it's like a few seconds slower than the most optimal way. If you can find a way that you can do, it's better than not being able to do it at all.
Yes. All right. Oh, there's the mirror. There's that mirror.
Interesting. So, Hexodis, not in Go, but they could theoretically have an easier time, you know, when they get that since they have the mirror already, to be able to instantly go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
After getting their Go mode items there, but
yeah.
I think they're going to be clearing out a few more items before they start going after dungeons here, while James is going to beeline the progression here. But they do have to be careful because they are on low health, and these puffs still hurt.
Yep, as you see right there, even red mail, that's 2 hearts of damage.
He can take one more hit before you would have to either refuel with the green potion in his inventory as he's getting chased. Yeah, we're gassing up.
Yep.
That way we can just burn them all down.
Well, the last one was kind of trying to sneak out of the wreckage right there.
I have to imagine now James might do a shopping trip, since we have fewer than 10 hearts and now has no safeties in the bottles. You know, since we are doing Master Sword Silverless on his side and not any half magic, it would... Okay, we're gonna rush Turtle Rock. Maybe.
Not necessarily. Let's see.
Oh, that's true. This is the spot where...
Yep.
I keep forgetting Mountain is the quickest start to...
There you go. Cleaning up there you go, the last check pod.
Yep, collect our crystal here. Probably go to Meyer. Then put Hera and TR to bed.
Yep.
Whereas probably Hexodis is going to complete Hera here and then beat Turtle Rock once they collect all of their toys. Definitely would say that James is going to be at the advantage here despite the sword disadvantage.
Yeah.
Which is good news for them, since if they win this match, they will advance to the next round. Just pulling up the challenge here.
facing?
I know challenge takes 7 years to load.
And the winner of this matchup will be facing Dapper Worm Man.
That is a
in the
tough
round
customer.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're in the extra round right now because we had an amount of participants that did not divide cleanly from 64 128. We had 176 signups. We divided that in half, and basically the 65th through 88th seeds are put into an extra round, and they will be duking it out for the right to get to the round of 64. The way it worked out was all but 3 of the group winners from the group stage were able to advance to the round of 64 directly, while 3 group winners with the lowest rank and group record are in this round as well.
And that is go mode for Hexodis. Well, not quite go mode, I guess. He'll check his TR medallion. Oh no, did he come up to this one? No, yeah, he'll check his TR medallion, and he'll see yes, he is in go mode.
Yep, and we're even gonna open the portal and beat TR right now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not really gonna get any.
No faster, slower.
No faster for him. Yeah. James
You're
skipping
gonna
on him. Well, yeah, he couldn't. James had to skip out on this, but yeah, it's not. I mean, Hex has to leave the mountain anyway, but he's already got tempered sword. No reason not to just like.
Yeah. It would be good to get those toys.
Yep. Maybe get a nice half magic or something in here to make your ice palace a little easier too.
Yeah, because you're basically gonna full clear this dungeon short of the big chest and Mimic Cave anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is what I thought James was gonna do at some point. They're going shopping.
Yep.
We can spend all of our money.
Yeah, makes sense. No half magic. No silvers. Gotta have those backups available.
And still on Master Sword. We're gonna rush TR. Oh, that's all they have left. They have TR.
He has to do Hera first.
And Hera, yeah.
He's got James is kind of an unfortunately annoying route.
Yeah, I mean,
he has to go all the way across the Hera and then run all the way back for TR.
Right, because they did not pick up the mirror in the Mire area where Hexodis went, which could be useful in GT because this allows for I'm a Hope Right player in GT, so the few times where I've gone into GT without the mirror, I'm like, oh crap, I can't do my usual strat.
Yeah, routing GT without mirror is very annoying.
So
especially
we'll see.
Especially with James, he's gonna have red mail in a decent number of parts. So death warping is still gonna be very annoying. There you go, little peek for sword just in case.
Yeah, we'll take a couple looks at these easy to get chests. I mean, we're gonna do some sort of Hera pot strat here anyway, so might as well open that out. We're gonna do the bread pot. I've kind of meant to learn this one, but I've just kind of stuck with the Raiden pot. Easy enough for me to do.
Yeah, I play on a tiny little emulator screen, so bread pot is a godsend.
I see.
Don't have to look for any pixels, so just...
Yeah, I getcha. Always interesting to learn how people play. Because I'm just at my desk with my computer and my Super NT just big chilling in the in my little tower of terror with a whole bunch of like musical equipment. For all you audio engineering nerds, we're talking like in some fancy interfaces and outboard gear. So we see another crystal by James. Yoink. Just TR remains. Whereas Hexodis has to clean up back down the mountain again for Pod, Ice Palace.
Yep, and then come back up for GT.
We hit the hour mark, so why don't y'all give the runners a follow, but it appears that the bot is dead, so that's fun. Yeah, just search for JamesFnX on Twitch, and the same for Hexodis, although I believe instead of the E, they use the number 3. And hey, if you want to give Pixcalibur, Shinmaru, or myself, Josh Bittner, a follow, you can do that as well.
There we go. There are our runners.
Silver's on Laser Bridge. That will make James very happy.
Yep.
And Hexodis trying to be a little bit careful because they're bonking and getting shot by the lasers.
There we go. Definitely, I mean, I think
Skipping the last...
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. He's already got tempered. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I think James is far enough ahead. I don't think the sword advantage would have really mattered. But with Silver's, the sword advantage definitely does not really matter. Yeah, so James is getting those silvers no matter what because the key was in the third.
Yeah, there's pretty much no avoiding them.
Yep. Not that you would want to avoid it, but...
Ooh, Hexodis gotta be a little careful. They are definitely close to being chomped mode in, against Trinex there.
Yeah, Trinex, another boss that hits very hard regardless of...
Masterful kill, though, in the second phase.
Yep, excellent second phase for Hexodis. About as well as you want it to go.
All right, so this is the part where Hexodis has to really get on their horse if they want to catch up. Although James, with a little bit of jello hands in this room, is gonna help out Hexodis a little too. Those chain chomps are scary, what can I say? We're in a low health situation, even with red mail, they still do 2 hearts to damage, so...
Yep.
If you get comboed by the chain chomps, you can be dead pretty quickly.
Answer question in chat. This is Hex's first time in Ice Palace, but he has dip pod. You had to dip pod in the seed. Pod was a required double dip the seed. There were mitts in pod that led to the hammer on Dark Death Mountain. So all Hexodis has left to do in pod after this is finish off Helmasaur. That's it.
We'll have a clearer picture of how big of a lead James will have when they finish this dungeon here versus how much Hexodis has left to do downstairs.
Yeah, I think Hexodis should probably be finishing Ice Palace by the time James is getting done with Torok, especially with a hammer Trinex fight ahead of him.
Yeah, this is going to be a little slower for him.
Yeah, so I think he'll be ahead by Helma clear and another mountain climb. That's probably...
It's 2 minutes.
Definitely a few minutes. I think maybe a little more. It takes a little bit of time to get to Helma. You got to run all the way back up through the maze again.
Yep, Hexodis not stopping to open anything. Goodbye, sir. We are.
Yeah. Even without half magic, you feel pretty good on tempered silvers.
All right, James practicing laser skips here. Let's see what we can do. And James feels that sweet vindication.
Yeah, sure. Very relieved to see that. Might still check this still. Well,
or maybe not if they yeeted
yeah,
themselves
probably,
off.
Yeah, I'm like, no, at that point, I'm like, no, it's not worth it.
If you really wanted it, you could have used an invincibility item because you're gonna get a mana refill in the next room anyway. Well, I kind of didn't get why either of our runners just didn't do that. I mean...
There you go. Bit of an easier Cold Stare fight for Hexodis.
You know, this is where Hexodis will make up a little bit of time because they'll be able to breeze through. They breezed through the Trinex fight, where this is going to take James a hot second. James is going to be... Ooh. There goes one of his safeties. Good thing we had 3.
Yes.
Although that's not ideal, and they put ice on the floor. Although not in a spot that's really going to matter in this fight, actually, at least, but... It does mean that they'll have to be a little bit more careful about mana in GT and in... on the Ganon fight. Probably means they'll have to use the cape a little bit less during Phase 2.
Alright, and that is Crystal number 7 for James. Heading straight to GT from here.
Yup, it's gonna be... We'll see what the routing is like for GT here. If James takes the wrong route, that will help out Hexodis if they take the right route. Or we could just see ourselves getting the big key on the torch or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, no one's that lucky.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Nobody looks a big key like that, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a pointed reference, I believe. All right, we're booking it straight left.
Yeah, not sure if James is a rando rusher or DM router. Let's check number 1. Full heart container on the torch.
Kind of surprised he didn't pick that up, because we are still at 10 hearts or less.
Yeah, a little surprised too. I think if I'm James, I'm actually feeling really, really good.
Yeah.
About my route.
I'd be like, you know, I could probably do with that heart container.
Yeah.
But James is a gamer. Yeah. And look, a heart container is forced on them anyway. Take that. All right.
Oh, actually, no. Full left makes a lot of sense for James because he does not have
the mirror. Yeah.
So yeah, he might be just like, I'm just going full left because it's just easier to route GT this way.
It would feel really bad though if the big key is in Hope Room. Because with that mirror, Hexodis should be checking Hope Room first. So if it's on the right side, that's going to feel really bad for James. Hexodis is taking down their final boss. Silver Arrow means that Helmasaur King goes down really quickly. And they have to gallop up the mountain as we get a bug net. Oh dear. We are running out of
Lovely mushroom.
checks. We are
Lovely
running out of
mushroom.
checks. So let's see. We're gonna see Hexodis rush them up the mountain here. It would be very wise for James to... Oh, there's a tempered sword for them.
There we go. Very nice sword for James.
Now we're on easy street. Pop, pop, pop. One miss, not too bad. We still have 21 arrows. And a vanilla big key.
Yeah. So just don't have the mirror and you go on the fastest route to the big key you can.
Yeah,
maybe
big
going
brain.
full right would have been a little faster depending on keys, but I mean, Joe James is not going to be complaining about how to figure out how to route back from right side easily.
Yeah, stumbling into that master sword too right before the big key. How clutch is that?
Yep.
It all just works out. I don't need to go to desert for nothing but a sword. It all works out. So that's gonna put James in a pretty significant lead as we see Hexodis gonna go right, which is the wrong direction unless they're gonna go full right. But they can't even do that. They would have needed a small key there, so which they did not get. So this definitely gives James like 2 to 3 minutes of time.
Yep.
That's pretty tough to make up at this point.
Yeah. Might have mattered if it were a Master Sword Silverless against Tempered Silvers, but now they're on even equipment. And this is very clearly James's race to lose.
Oh, that stupid Stalfos Knight.
It's stupid, yeah. These Zazaks are real jerks.
Or rather, there's Zyzax. I can never remember these weird names of the enemy since they're like... like, what even is a Zyzax anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. I hate them enough now that I remember their names. Used to be that Stalfos room on the climb was my least favorite room to know. I really don't like these Zazak rooms anymore. Especially the blue ones.
Yeah.
They really like to get out of the way.
Especially, like, playing, you know, as I've gotten into the vanilla speedrun. It's just like where every second counts. You're just like, oh, come on. You just see your GT segment going to die because of them. Or when you swing and a miss on the Wizrobes. Yeah, this has been a pretty cozy seed, all things considered.
Who knew? All you had to do was just go to pod and instantly get go mode.
Yeah, that was like, I guess the only thing was, you know, the routing I've been taking more lately out of AG is just going to pod right away anyway. If there's something there, great. If not, you've got it and it done already. Probably the only optimization they could have done, and I mean, how could you have known that when you had 2 crystal dungeons on the West Dark World to do?
Yeah. question chat. No, Mir is not in GT. Mir is in Meyer Shed. So James did Dark Death Mountain first before thinking about doing Meyer area, and he just got into go mode and had really no reason to ever visit Meyer area.
Yeah, I usually do what Hexodis does, is like kind of do that cute little quick check to Meyer. You know, right when you get the items to examine that area, just because it's so often that you get progression there. It's like the myths are just basically telling you, you know, like, oh hey, you unlocked the zone, you should go check it out. A nice free triple for James on that lineup. I believe they just got one more shot, but they give him 2 for good measure. Take that. So we got ourselves an easy peasy lemon squeezy fight against Ganon here. Tempered, silvers, red mail, even a cape. This is the proverbial 2-foot tap-in at the golf course. You know, setting up the 1-in-1. Even a lovely Ganon placement where you can spin away and not get hit by anything. Just don't get hit by too many of the fire bats. On to phase 3. Ganon, please. Alright. Ooh, even sneaking in a silver shot before the torch even goes out. Can we get the triple? 1, 2, no. And Ganon goes down. Get your GGs in. JamesFnX is on to the round of 64 as long as they cross this bridge with no problems. And they have done it. With a race time official, 1:17:45.
GG's, JamesFnX.
What a great match. Unfortunately, this will be the end of the line for Hexodis in the Casual Boots tournament, but hey, you know what? Making it out of groups and into the bracket alone is no small feat. And we are joined by our winner, advancing to the round of 64, JamesFnX. GG's.
GG's. That's
So,
a quick one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go where the items are, forehead.
Yeah, that was I mean, suddenly get go mode on Death Mountain. It was a very good decision on my part to just ignore the world and do Aghanim. It really felt like it was an Aghanim seed, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really nice thing about this for you is that a lot of your routing decisions just like even just like in dungeon worked out really well. Like the 50-50 in Eastern Palace, you save time there. Rushing the back of Skullwood saved you lots of time there. Never had to check the front. Like lots of little decisions like that also saved you time throughout the seed.
Yeah, and if even if I don't get the third item out of Eastern, I'm not coming back for it. Unless I last location at looking for Moon Pearl or something. But yeah, I was really happy with all the decisions I made. And really happy that most of them worked out.
It all just works out.
You know, sometimes there isn't really a lot more to say that. I'm the moth fight was really sweaty for me, but got through
Oh
it.
yeah. I don't ask you how you did it, but if you did it.
Right, exactly. And game one, we didn't get a Master Sword until Turtle Rock, which was our second to last crystal. So had a bunch of sweaty fights in that seed too.
Yikes. So as we see Hexodis going into the Ganon fight, you're advancing and your next opponent's going to be Dapper Wormman. How do you feel about that matchup?
It's a great runner. I'm feeling pretty good about how I'm playing, honestly. I think I'm playing pretty well. I'm fighting a little bit of controller issues right now, but we'll get that sorted out. But whatever happens, happens. I mean, Dapper's a great opponent. If I win, it'll be a bit of an upset, I think. But I wouldn't count me out, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think you play in route like this, you're giving yourself a shot against most anyone.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of what I have to do. I don't hover, I don't mold pounds, I don't have every parlor trick in the book. So I just have to route a little more aggressively and be willing to take risks.
That's kind of like what I've learned recently too, especially in a mode like this where, you know, you have to figure out where you can save time or avoid giving away free time in an opponent in a short mode like this, where you know, it's not like 80 keys where you can give up time when you're full clearing anyway. You know, like clearing an extra dungeon feels super bad in this mode.
Yeah, which is why I chose to do Aghanim's Tower over Desert. There was really no way I was ever going to go into Desert unless I had so few options left at that point that kind of forced my hand to.
Get your GG's in for Hexodis as they finish up their race with a 121.57, I believe. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have to like think about like, because like if you give away like 3, 4, 5 minutes to your opponent for free in this mode, where it typically, you know, you won with a 117, like 4 or 5 minutes is like an eternity in this mode.
Definitely. Yeah, I can't make the decisions that kind of loop me into those sorts of things. So I sometimes I feel like I'm playing on rails just because I don't have some of the parlor tricks that other players do, but I think I can play on rails pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, your execution was doing pretty darn good. You play like that, you're gonna be making some waves, you know? You know, you route right, you play good, you're feeling good, feeling yourself, as you're saying, you know? It always feels good when you're playing well, and then, you know, it pays out like this.
Yeah, better lucky than good, but best lucky and good.
Yes.
We'll see if Hexodis would like to join the interview, but I'm just trying to think some other thoughts about this seed. I mean, was there any thought to potentially going into pod right away after Aga 1, or were you just kind of beelining the 2 crystals on the West Dark World?
There was a little bit of a thought to it, but with after I did map check and had 2 completable crystals over there, I just needed to get over there and get dungeons done. I did Catfish because Catfish is a terrible location, and it's one that has I don't know if you followed any of the matches I had in groups. I think Catfish had progression in half the seeds I played.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Fun, very fun.
And I'm literally never going to do it again other than after Aghanim, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's usually one of my last. I'm in this kind of mode. You have to decide on pretty much ahead of the time, what are my last locations, and can I live with that if I lose to that? And I think a lot of people will select Catfish as a last location.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just some stinko checks. I mean, It just depends on the layout. I mean, we didn't have to go into swamp at all. The mirror was in the mire shed, and a fourth sword was in desert, but that's all that was on that part of the world.
I'm real glad I didn't see that mirror. Honestly.
Oh, that could have sent you in all sorts of horrible directions.
Even that, I think it would have slowed down my GT too, because I would have gone stealthless left or stealthless right and did all those checks too. I mean, it would have saved a few seconds in saving quits, but I don't think it would have. I think it would have ended up costing me time, honestly.
That's so wild. Well, it doesn't look like Hexodis is gonna join us. I don't see them in the setup channel. Oh, they are in chat, so... Oh, they didn't get an invite. That's really weird. I know the bot stuff with SG has been a bit wobbly. Oh, it's because the tracker didn't mark you as finished.
That'll do it.
Thanks to Lumaga in chat for pointing that out. We're Huh. Okay. That's so weird. Because I don't think any of us have permission to drag anybody, to send a server invite. So yeah, I guess. Geez, I feel so bad. Oh, you can DM the invite. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Invites are disabled, so no, I cannot. Just trying to see. Otherwise, we're kind of at the end. Okay, I can send the one I got. Let's try that out. Let me find them. Because, I mean, it'd be nice to talk to Hexodis for a second there. Let's see what happens. I have to go into the casual boot server here. Bear with me 1 second. There they are. Let's try. Okay, we'll see if that link works for them. Hexodis, consider yourself DM'd by me personally. Oh, they're in the setup channel. Perfect. So that does work. Thank you, Scupula, for saving the day yet again. And we are joined by Hexodis. GG's.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
GG's Hex.
Yeah, that was a very jetty seed. It's a PB for me, so I'm happy no matter what.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Yo, congrats.
This is one of those weird things. All the tournaments I've entered this year, I've PB'd and gotten my butt kicked. So it's been fantastic.
Sometimes that's how it goes. I've definitely had those where it was like, oh, I motored the sea as fast as I can. I still got wrecked.
Oh, my favorite was losing to home wrecker. I PB'd by a lot. Like it was like a 2 something, like I think 210 or something in cross keys, and he just murdered me.
Well, I mean, home wrecker is no joke at this game, so.
Indeed, yeah. Well, all the people that say, "Oh yeah, that hover advantage," that hover advantage doesn't do crap if you can't route.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun party trick, and sometimes it can get you some nice stuff you're not supposed to have yet in like Hookshot Cave, or can get you in a hover seed a nice little boost, but you have to get there first.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I watched back game 1 and I saw you hovering, and I felt like I had to be a little more aggressive in my routing decisions, and it worked out today.
Yeah, I was pretty aggressive as well. I did skip quite a few things, but yeah, not the stuff I should have skipped, I guess. That stupid ice rod hammer, though. Like, what was that?
That was great for me. That was because I had not touched my area, I had not touched desert at all. I just got my go mode on the mountain and just had to figure out how to route it from there.
Oh, it was my go mode on the mountain as well. It was just like, I did get that third sword in desert. Just because, yeah, I have this thing about cash boots where every seed I've played, there's been something important in a pendant dungeon, and it's usually an early pendant dungeon. So when they give me access to a pendant dungeon, it's the first thing I do. I don't know why. I've been burned by it too many times, I guess.
Yeah, we all have our individual traumas about routing decisions, and then we just make decisions based on that pain.
Well, and then I like hard skipped pod, so then I think I lost quite a bit of time cleaning up overworld stuff.
Yeah, I got the flippers. I did flipper checks, and then I went to pod after that and got mitts, and just immediately after that went up the mountain and got go mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did get my mirror out of Mire with my blue cane in checkerboard cave, and then I fluted immediately to the mountain. I was like, I'm not doing pendant Mire. Forget that.
No thanks.
Yikes! Yeah,
Especially after yesterday's Mire.
Yeah, fighter. Yeah. You had a little trouble there.
I died. Yeah. I had no plan going in, and for some reason forgot the capacity ferry exists.
Yeah, I stopped at the ferry before Mire Monday. I had a plan.
Yeah. So that's my takeaway from game one: is always have a plan.
And shopping trips, there's no shame in them sometimes.
Not when you got fighter sword with an endgame boss.
Mmm.
And like no
Appetizing.
safeties. No safeties. Like we're talking what? I don't even think we had mail upgrades. Like maybe blue mail.
I think we had blue mail. But yeah, no cape, no Samaria, or no Burna. Or no, we had Burna, but it doesn't matter. There's too much lag. You can't use it with fighter sword.
Exactly, yeah. You can't get a spin-off. You would need cape, and even then it's gross. Yeah, that was gross. I don't think either one of us found tempered sword in that seed. It was disgusting. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I'm not gonna drag the stream out.
No, for sure. We were just glad to get you in. Wish you GG's. Still congratulations on making the bracket. That's no small feat in and of itself. Only half the people get to do that. So, I mean, that's how I felt. That's how I felt last year, to be honest. When I was in the tournament last year, I got paired up against GGW and pulled Ped about 5 seconds before they finished racing. So.
No, I'm happy to be in the brackets. It's the first brackets I've ever made, so clearly I've been making some small improvements here and there. So I'm happy.
Yeah, keep working hard. You're gonna keep playing better, and you're gonna find yourself in some more brackets just like this one.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Well, any final thoughts from anybody in the chat here? The floor is yours.
Just thanks to you two for commentary, for y'all to organize this restream. I know it was a little tight at the end, but thanks to all y'all for what you do. And GG's Hex, and get ready for the next round.
Yep, GG's James. Good luck in the rest of this thing. I know you're up against some tough competition coming up. It's looking at the brackets, and it's a no joke bracket.
Never is.
No, it only gets harder from here. I mean, James has got Dapper Wormman, and even if they get past Dapper Wormman, then they gotta contend with one of Windfox, H-Tom Sivaru, or Tristanian. On my bracket, I put Windfox in that round after that, so Dapper Wormman, and in my prediction, Windfox right in a row. That's a bit of a gauntlet.
Yep. Yeah, that's not going to be an easy bracket anyways. At least this segment. It's been pretty tough. I mean, even in my group, I got by just by the skin of my teeth.
That's how it feels sometimes, you know.
Oh no, like it was literally I was down to my last 2 races and I had to win them both, and one of them was against our top quartile player.
Yeah. And last year, I know that feel. I had a 3-3 tiebreaker to get into the bracket, so skin of the teeth indeed. I mean, Shinmaru has leveled up in the last year, so I know they're kind of sitting there with a big can't relate because, you know, they were much newer a year ago, and then now they're a freaking god gamer. So,
oh yeah, Shin's insane.
But
Shin's been farming me for points.
Well, I think we can kind of call it here, so I'll leave it to Shin to take us home. I've been Josh Bittner with Pixcalibur, but thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks again to James and Hexodis for letting us showcase this race. It was very fun to watch. Very, very interesting seed. Thanks to everyone coming out to SpeedGaming 5 for Casual Boots Tournament. And yeah, be sure to pay attention to the schedule for more Casual Boots Tournament action to come, along with other Advanced Randomizer tournaments, Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament ongoing. Very fun to watch. And, yeah.
There's drop the link to the schedule in the chat there. You can see all the lovely matches. You might have to open up 2 windows, 2 tabs to watch some of these, but keep your eyes peeled. We'll have some restreams up for you. You know, they'll be fast and furious in the next couple of weeks here as we are in the first couple of rounds of the bracket. But yeah, I think that should do it.
Yeah, have a nice evening, everyone.
All right, take care, folks.